Hi everyone and welcome back to Artful. In this week's tutorial I'll be talking you through how I created a cityscape using our Tombow markers and 2-point perspective. First things first, using a pencil and a ruler we're drawing our horizon line as well as the 2 points from our 2-point perspective. I'm drawing our 2 points at an equal distance to the edge of the paper. Next, and in the centre of our composition, I'm drawing the corner for our first building. And then using my ruler, I'm joining the top and bottom of the central line to the 2 horizon points. Once you've got this diamond shape, you can now use this as a rough guide to drawing 3D objects. With 2-point perspective, it really is as easy as every time you draw a vertical line, just joining the top and bottom of that line to the 2 horizon points. With those fundamentals out of the way, now I'm starting to draw some more buildings into our cityscape. I'm always using a ruler at the top and bottom of our vertical lines to work out the perspective. Remember, if you do follow along to this tutorial, I'd love to see it, so please tag me in your own creations on Instagram at Artful Box. And once you're satisfied that your cityscape is densely populated enough, you can use your eraser to rub out those construction lines. So, fun fact about Tombow markers is they're not waterproof, but this gives you the opportunity to actually paint with the pigment. At the start of my composition, I've made myself a little palette, and using a paintbrush and a bit of water, I can draw out the orange pigment from the Tombow marker and use it to paint a nice warm skyline for our cityscape. I've taken a bit of water off our paintbrush to make this nice dry brush effect, and using that orange pigment I'm painting one side of the city so it looks like the light is hitting it at a certain angle. I've drawn out the pigment from one of our grey Tombow markers to create this nice concrete cold floor of our city. And then using the thicker brush point of our orange Tombow markers, I can start to create the shadows on the side of our buildings. I fancied having these shadows a bit darker though, and I didn't think the orange really helped sell that, so I've added a bit of blue on top of the orange to create this nice kind of green-brown tone. Swapping to the finer point of the orange marker, you can now start to add details to all your buildings. As with anything when you're drawing perspective, you have to make sure that all these details line up to your vanishing points. You'll see that all the details I'm drawing, all the doors, all the windows, all the little extraneous things to make our buildings look a bit more real, they all converge on the vanishing point to the right of our composition. Using the brush pen side of our grey Tombow marker, I can now start to add some shadows to our buildings. Again, these shadows should all line up to your vanishing point. I wanted our skyline to be a bit more dynamic, so when that original orange layer was dry, I added a bit of red Tombow marker on top of it, and then ran out the pigment using some more water. You've got to be really careful now when applying water to your composition because some elements of your drawing aren't waterproof. So if you hit the side of your building, for example, all of that lovely pigment would run, so you've got to be really precise. And then just to finish off, I'm using our blue Tombow marker to add in some extra details. I'm using the finer point to draw over the details on the side of the building just so they pop a bit more on the composition. And using the brush side of the pen, adding some clouds that I can draw the pigment out of using a paintbrush. And there's our Tombow 2-point perspective drawing pretty much finished. And the great thing about this art theory is that it's applicable to any art medium. This took me around half an hour to draw and paint in total, using only the Tombow colours found in our Artful Calligraphy box. Let me know in the comments down below how you got on drawing and painting your own 2-point perspective compositions, or if there's just any other art theory techniques that you'd like us to cover in a future tutorial. If you did enjoy this tutorial, then why not watch some of our other ones? We've got a stack of them on YouTube and on our website at artful.co.uk. Thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you again shortly with a new video.